Antarctica melts under its hottest days on record. All that melting has provoked many people to start looking more and more closely at newly revealed land in Google Earth ground images of Antarctica. One place in particular is along the Wilkes Land coast, marked here as strange structures in East Antarctica. Also in that region is the WLMA, the Wilkes Land Magnetic Anomaly. Further to the west is the American McMurdo Base on the Ross Sea in the lower left, and in the upper left of the map is the South Pole. The strange structures are clustered at the same latitude and longitude, and you can see those red lines underneath each. Those mysterious structures include what looks like roof coverings over something deeper. The map was produced by retired U.S. Navy Captain Mark Wood to study the strange structures to see if he could learn more about their sizes. Captain Wood served as a navigator communicator, tactical coordinator, and mission commander in his 25-year U.S. Navy career. We are going to begin with the bottom of the list of latitudes and longitudes underlined in red. And that one is a structure labeled on this map a semi-elliptical shaped cavern roof that I'm also calling an oval lid. It is 66 degrees, 16 minutes, 24 seconds south, and 100 degrees, 59 minutes, and 4 seconds east.
I realized that there was a dark shadow on one side of this object, which definitely shows that it is above the ice sheet underneath it. And the dimensions on this, it's not circular. This thing looks like half an ellipse and sort of flat. And it's about 60 feet out from the ground that you can see it attached to. And it looks to be somewhere between 10 and 12 or 10 and 15 feet off the ground based on this shadow you can see when you orient this image correctly. If this was a full ellipse, it would be 120 feet by 60 feet. We're seeing half of it, so we're seeing 60 feet by 60 feet. This appears to be a roof-type structure that's covering something we can't see, perhaps the entry into an underground cavern.
Back at our map, where several strange structures are near the same latitude-longitude, you have another anomaly 42 miles from the ellipse roof that is labeled Artificial Appearing Cavern Roof. It's at 66 degrees, 36 minutes, 11.03 seconds south, and 99 degrees, 43 minutes, 13.24 seconds east.
Yeah, the oval lid, I'll call it. It definitely looks artificial. It's a smooth surface with some molded ridges on it, and there's no doubt that it's covering up part of the cavern. And when you rotate it around, all of a sudden it jumps at you that this is some sort of an artificial covering to go down into a cavern, and you can't see how deep it is. You can see the dark hole next to the ice and snow by the entrance.
And you could speculate that if it's 42 miles from the oval lid covering up something underground, that this whole area, the 42 miles from the oval lid to this sort of rounded, raised lid, it could be covering a huge underground base.
It could very well be with multiple entry points.
Let's go back up to the pin where you have octagon-shaped berms from YouTube video. We have been looking at these sort of octagonal patterns for about 2 or 3 years, wondering what they are, and now you've got a location that appears to tie them to these lids.
Yes, photographs of 4, 3 that are close together and 1 a little bit further away, and they appear to be artificial, I'll call them berms or trails in the ice and snow that form the shape of an octagon. The trails go from an inner circle to an outer circle in all the cases, and it appears that the inner parts of these are uncovered. There is no snow or ice next to them. So all I can think of is that there is some sort of a protective berm for wind protection or something else that has identified an area where something has gone on or is going on.
Why do you think, like this one that you sent me, it has very clear demarcation lines? It is as if a pattern were superimposed in this snow and ice.
It's got me baffled. It appears to be that somebody has made some sort of a circular design on the outer diameter and then made an inner circle, but there were connecting lines in between the two. But it's definitely an artificial group of lines.
2 years ago, I think we had one of these. Now we've got a photograph of 3 in one and a separate one, so that's 4.
Right. These are 14 miles away from this oval-shaped group that we've been identifying now here recently. They are located in Wilkes Land, and they run sort of parallel to that coast, 60 miles in from the sea. The images that we have are from 2006. There are no new images of this area. The newest images that are shown on Google Earth are 2006. So we're looking at ice that's 14 years old.
Can we get any current images today?
No, because when you start to zoom into this area and get the most recent image that shows these things, it's a 2006 image. And there are no newer images that are listed on Google Earth for this area.
Doesn't that mean to you, Mark, with your background as being a Navy captain, that this is evidence of deliberate, whether it's somebody telling Google or telling NASA or whoever, a deliberate policy to keep current images of a place like Antarctica from the public?
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that there is some type of government intervention in what Google is allowed to see. And if you consider that most of the satellite imaging that they use comes from government satellites, then the government basically can give them what they want and keep from them what the government wants. Now the question is, are there commercial satellites that have the resolution, that have data that's newer than 2006 of these areas? And that I don't know, because we all go to Google Earth when we start to look at the Earth's surface.
The maps have been manipulated, but the ice is melting, and there may be more and more revelations in spite of policies of denial in the interest of national security.
Yeah. Well, we both know that Antarctica is locked down more than the Pentagon is. Obviously, somebody has a reason.